the most powerful warship ever built. USS Gerald R. Ford, $13 billion. Powered by 2 nuclear reactors that run for 20 years without refueling. Completely energy independent. Except right now, 150 miles off the Venezuelan coast, she is 72 hours from becoming a $13 billion paperweight. Not because the reactors are failing, because she is running out of jet fuel for her 75 aircraft. The nuclear reactors keep the ship running, but jet fuel keeps the mission alive, and Ford is nearly empty. Day 28 of counter-narcotics operations. The Air Wing has been flying combat patrols non-stop. Intercept missions tracking drug trafficking vessels. Intelligence shows coordinated activity with shore-based lookouts. The operational tempo is brutal. Ford's JP-5 tanks, 15% remaining, at 150,000 gallons burned per day. That is 3 days until every FA-18 Super Hornet becomes a $70 million lawn ornament. 75 aircraft, $5 billion in useless metal. Nearest American port? Mayport, Florida, 1,500 miles away. 1 week round trip. During that week, drug traffickers operate freely. The solution? USNS Supply. A civilian crewed ship carrying 1 million gallons of jet fuel. She is steaming toward Ford right now. But transferring that fuel means connecting 2 massive ships. They are traveling at highway speeds for over 4 hours. 4 hours when both are restricted in their ability to maneuver. If you are proud of the sailors and civilian mariners who perform this operation to keep our Navy worldwide, type "proud" in the comments. Today, the biggest lie about nuclear carriers. The mega UNREP operation that keeps them fighting. The impossible choice between refueling and launching fighters. And the moment Ford had to do both simultaneously. This is how logistics defeats geography. Let us break it down. Here is the lie. Nuclear carrier equals unlimited operations. Nuclear reactors run forever. Therefore, the carrier runs forever. Energy independence. Wrong. Ford has 2 Bechtel A1B nuclear reactors. Each generates 3 times the power of older designs. Together, enough electricity for a city of 100,000 people. They run 20 years without new nuclear fuel. The ship never burns diesel, never needs F-76 fuel oil. The reactors power everything. Propulsion, weapons, electromagnetic catapults launching aircraft. Desalination plants producing 400,000 gallons of fresh drinking water daily from seawater. Galley equipment cooking 18,000 meals for 4,500 sailors. Nuclear power makes the water, but it cannot make food, and it definitely cannot make jet fuel. Ford carries 75+ aircraft. FA-18 Super Hornets, E-2D Hawkeyes, EA-18G Growlers, MH-60 helicopters. Everyone runs on JP-5 jet fuel, not nuclear power. 1 FA-18 combat sortie, 2,000 gallons burned. During intensive ops, 75 to 100 sorties daily. That is 100,000 to 150,000 gallons every day. Ford's capacity, 3 million gallons. At 150,000 per day consumption, those tanks empty in 20 days. The Navy never runs below 15% reserve. Realistically, you have 15 to 18 days before you are looking for gas. A nuclear ship with 20-year reactors needs a gas station every 2 to 3 weeks. Not for herself, for her aircraft. Without those aircraft, an aircraft carrier is an expensive cruise ship with missiles. Ford's 4,500 sailors eat 18,000 meals daily. Fresh milk, gone in 3 days. Fresh vegetables, maybe 2 weeks. After that, frozen and canned. Poor food equals low morale. Low morale equals mistakes. The brutal truth: the reactor gives unlimited range. But you cannot fight without resupply. The reactor powers the ship. Logistics powers the mission. USNS Supply is not a warship. She is Military Sealift Command. Civilian crew. SCIV-MAR. Civilian mariners. Professional merchant sailors, not Navy. No military ranks. But they do the most critical job in naval warfare. Supply is TAOE-6, Fast Combat Support Ship. 25 knots. Most cargo ships struggle to hit 20. Supply keeps pace with carrier strike groups at combat speed. Why does speed matter? A slow oiler means the carrier waits. Waiting means predictable. Predictable means vulnerable. Supply, 754 feet long. 48,000 tons fully loaded. Cargo capacity, 6.5 million gallons of fuel, 1,800 tons of ammunition, 250 tons of food and spare parts. 1 million gallons have Ford's name on it, plus missiles and bombs, plus 30 days of fresh provisions. This is underway replenishment. UNREP EU, not simple fuel transfer. Mega UNREP. 7 to 9 transfer stations simultaneously operating while both ships move. 160 civilian mariners about to perform one of the most dangerous logistics operations on Earth. Not for glory, not for medals, because it is their job. These are the unsung heroes. Without supply, Ford is dead in the water. In 90 minutes, both ships will be locked together, pumping explosive jet fuel across 140 feet of ocean. Flag signals first. Romeo flags on both vessels, conducting replenishment operations. Then Bravo flags, bright red, huge, handling dangerous cargo. Supply maintains 13 knots, steady course. Ford matches speed, slides alongside. Gap stabilizes at 140 feet. The conning officer calls constant helm commands. The helmsman fights Venturi effect, invisible suction when two hulls move close together. Supplies deck. 7 teams prepare transfer stations. A civilian mariner shoulders an M14 rifle. Line throwing kit attached. Bang. Rubber projectile arcs across, trailing nylon line. A billion-dollar warship connected by a 1960s rifle. Why? Reliability. Wind, spray, salt air. The M14 works every time. 15 minutes. 7 stations have lines across. Those pull span wires tensioned to 15,000 pounds. Fuel hoses slide across, 7-inch diameter, steel reinforced. Each probe slams into receiver on Ford's deck. Latches engage, valves open. 3,000 gallons per minute through each hose. 7 fuel stations, 15,000 gallons per minute maximum flow. They run 60% for safety. Still, 9,000 gallons per minute. Fill a car's gas tank every 8 seconds. While fuel flows below, 2 MH-60S helicopters lift off from supply. Vertical replenishment, VertRep. Each helicopter shuttles pallets, missiles, provisions. 6,000 pounds per load. Pallets fly 100 feet above ocean. Fuel pumps 100 feet below. 2 ships, 4,660 people. $15 billion in combined assets. Moving at 13 knots. Connected by cables under lethal tension. Pumping explosive fuel. Swinging ammunition through air. Over the next 4 hours, this operation will continue without pause. 90 minutes into transfer. Ford's radar, contact. Unknown aircraft. Bearing 180. Range 80 miles. Speed 400 knots. Approaching operational area. On Ford's deck, 2 FA-18 Super Hornets on bow catapults. Alert 5 status. 2 pilots in cockpits for 2 hours. Flight suits on. Helmets connected. Engines idle. Waiting. Air boss. Alert 5. Prep for launch. Unknown contact inbound. Below these aircraft, 3 fuel hoses still connected to supply. 5,000 gallons per minute flowing. 200,000 gallons left to transfer. UNREP not finished. Pilots power up. Engines spool to full. Deck shakes. Catapult crews scramble. Hold back bars lock Hornets while engines scream. Conning officer to captain. Sir, we are still connected. 7 stations active. Emergency breakaway takes 3 minutes. Unknown contact, 60 miles out. Closing fast. Ford needs fighters airborne. Captain, launch the Alert 5 birds. Continue UNREP. Catapult officer touches 2 fingers to deck. Catapult 1 fires. Electromagnetic catapult accelerates 30 tons from 0 to 165 miles per hour in 2 seconds. Ship shudders. 100,000 tons of steel vibrates. Port side, fuel hose jumps. Span wire flexes. Tension spikes. Connection holds. Catapult 2 fires. Another shockwave. Hose jumps again. Still holds. Both FA-18s airborne. Climbing to intercept. Fuel transfer continues. 15,000 gallons per minute flowing. Supplies crew has not paused. This is what Ford class was designed to do. Unknown aircraft. Coastal patrol plane. Came within 30 miles. Observed 2 fighters. Turned back. UNREP continues. Over the next 3 hours, operation completes. Total transfer, 1.1 million gallons, JP5. 500 pallets ordnance, 35 tons fresh provisions. Actual vegetables after 4 weeks at sea. Luxuries. Last hose disconnects. Final pallet delivered. Both ships prepare breakaway. Ford increases to 16 knots. Gap widens, 200 feet. 500 feet. From supply speakers, music, maximum volume, breakaway song. Supplies tradition, classic rock, ear-splitting. Today, born to be wild. 4,000 sailors on Ford hear it. Half laugh. Other half, trying to sleep after night watch, curse. But everyone gets the message. Unrep complete. Mission continues. Supply turns away. Next customer waiting. Ford turns into wind, recovering fighters. Flight deck resumes ops. Air wing back in business. How does a nuclear carrier that never needs fuel still depend on a floating gas station? Because the reactor powers the ship. Logistics powers the mission. Ford steams across oceans without stopping. Reactors run 20 years. But aircraft cannot fly on nuclear power. Sailors cannot eat reactor coolant. Missiles do not launch themselves. Every combat capability depends on external supply. A-1B reactors. Incredible technology. Unlimited propulsion. But they do not generate combat power. Combat power comes from JP-5 in wing tanks. Missiles in magazines. Food in galleys. Well-fed sailors and confident pilots with full tanks. Other countries have carriers. France, Charles de Gaulle. Nuclear-powered. Britain, Queen Elizabeth. China, building a third. But none have the logistics tail for sustained global operations. Britain's carriers, near British bases. France's, Mediterranean. China's, never far from Chinese ports. Why? No UNREP capability. No fast combat support ships. No global network. No civilian mariners willing to steam into demanding operational environments with explosive cargo. United States, 29 Military Sealift Command. Replenishment ships. 29 floating supply depots. Every ocean, ships like supply. Civilian crews. Enabling military operations 10,000 miles from American shores. This is the force multiplier nobody talks about. The logistics network transforming regional navies into global fleets. As long as supply finds Ford, Ford stays on station. As long as fuel hoses connect every 3 weeks, mission continues. As long as CIVMAR crews operate in demanding conditions, American naval power persists. Nuclear reactor. Impressive. Powers catapults. Makes fresh water. Runs radars. But it is not what makes American carriers dominant. What makes them dominant? Willingness to perform dangerous operations at 13 knots. Pump explosive fuel between moving ships. Launch fighters while hoses connected. Accept risk because mission demands it. Civilian mariners sailing into operational areas because someone has to feed the fleet. Next time you see Gerald R. Ford operating off Taiwan, Persian Gulf, Caribbean, remember, she is not there because of nuclear reactors. She is there because somewhere over the horizon, supply or a ship like her is ready to connect 7 hoses and pump 1 million gallons. Reactor powers the ship. Logistics powers the mission. Logistics is why America operates on every ocean on Earth. The hull is American steel. The reactor is American science. But the logistics? That is American grit. Hit like and subscribe for more content about systems keeping American naval power operational worldwide. The nuclear reactor keeps the lights on. Logistics keeps the mission alive.